Hi everyone. The learning involves acquiring general concepts from specific training examples given in the data set. That means the learning is using to learn the patterns from given training examples to acquire general knowledge or general concepts. For example, the people continuously learn the knowledge or general concepts, or it is called categories such as bird, car, situations in which I should study more in order to get more marks in the exam. So like this, they are continuously learning the knowledge or learning the patterns from their life continuously. So here each such concept, that means each such knowledge, can be viewed as describing some subset of objects or some subset of events defined over a large set of data set or large set of training examples. That is the subset of animals that constitute birds. Like that, large set of vehicles constitute car. The large set of exams he has written, that constitutes the particular exam, or he wants to score more marks to get high grade. So like that, here there is one of the concept hypothesis. For learning the hypothesis, first we should take a sample data from the given population. For example, the child is growing with identifying the male and female persons. So here the population in the world we are having, for example, we can take some locality. In that locality there is the possibility of 15,000 people with combination of male and female. So when the child is growing up, the need not to view or meet all 15,000 people to classify the particular person is male or female. The child needs only a few, some kind of samples. For example, it needs only the 500 people when it is growing up from 0 to 5 years. So when it is meeting 500 people in this 5 years, it can identify who is the male or who is the female. So among this locality, 15,000 people available, the child needs only 500 people in this 5 years to classify the person is male or female. So here this 15,000 people data is called population, and the only 500 people the child has we are seen in this 5 years span of time. So this is called a sample. So the sample of data is taken from the population to identify the solution. Here the null hypothesis is defined as the conclusion based upon the sample data. So based upon this sample data, we will guess some solution in our mind to classify the male or female. So the child can guess some features, some set of patterns to identify the given data is given person. Suppose if any new person comes to that home or village, when child is meeting, so it has some the child has some solution in the mind to come to the conclusion either that person may be a male or female. So that is called null hypothesis. So the null hypothesis will not have statistical measure to identify the relationship between uh, between the two variables. So here we will use the statistical measures to identify the relationship between the two variables. So here the two variables are male and female. So to differentiate the male and female, it needs some statistical measures to identify the relationship. Then alternate hypothesis, in the sense, based upon this statistical measures, then it will identify the alternate hypothesis, that is the conclusion, right? So null hypothesis means it will not have the no statistical measures involved to come for conclusion, but alternative hypothesis, it needs the statistical measures to come to the conclusion based upon the patterns which are the person is having. For example, male will have male will have the beard and a mustache, so like that female may have some struts, right? And struts and they will not have the mustache, beard. So these are the sum of patterns to identify the male and female classification. So here they will use some statistical measures to identify the alternate hypothesis. Then here to prove the alternate hypothesis, the research has to use the statistical measure to identify the difference between two variables to relate both of them. For example, we will take son is affected with the fever caused by ice cream. So this is null hypothesis. That means the previous day or day before yesterday, the son has taken two three ice creams when he is attending here, when he was attending the function. So the dad comes to some conclusion, that is the null hypothesis. Dad comes to some conclusion without relating any statistical measures. Due to the ice cream only you are infected with fever, but there is no various there is various reasons uh, to affect with the fever. So that various reasons are coming into the alternate hypothesis scenario. So without any reasons, without any statistical measures, dad comes to conclusion he was affected with fever due to the ice cream. But uh, when they are approaching the doctor or clinic, they have got the reasons. It is not due to the ice cream, it is due to other reasons, due to the climate or due to drinking cold water for last 1 week. So some of other reasons are there with the statistical measures. So that kind of conclusion is called alternate hypothesis. So various reasons for the fever would be taken, then analyze that reasons to prove the alternative hypothesis that is going to be accepted by the learning system. Here the hypothesis space is having set of hypotheses which are derived from the given training examples in dataset D, or it is called instance space X. And the constraints also there in the form of vector based upon the given attributes in given data set. For example, if we have the data set like sky, here we are having the temperature. So here we are having the two attributes, and then we will have the target concept. This is called target concept. C means target, C means concept. So here we will have the attribute values. So attribute sky is having the sunny, and attributes temperature may have a warm. So based upon this we will derive some target concept, either yes or no. So here this is called the sample xi. So this one is the attribute a. So here which attributes are used in the form of vectors. Hypothesis consists of three constraints. For example, I derived one constraint h1. H means hypothesis, right? Hypothesis space in the sense it will have n number of hypotheses inside the hypothesis space. So here this H is the hypothesis space, small h1, h2, hn are number of hypotheses. So here, based upon the constraints, we are deriving some hypothesis. The question symbol here, some specific value cold, then high, then some question symbol. So here we are having 6 attributes. You look at that attribute number 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So here we are having the 6 attributes in the data set. So based upon the 6 attributes, we are deriving some hypothesis that we will see it in the forthcoming slides. Now, what are these three constraints? The constraint question symbol, you look at that, we are having the constraint question symbol. That means it will accept any value. That means constraint does not have an important role. That means it will accept any value. Question symbol means suppose sky is having three values: sunny or cloudy, and the third value may be a rainy. So if question symbol means it will accept sometime cloudy or sometime sunny or sometime rainy, so any value it will accept. And the second constraint is the strong constraint on the value of the attribute. That means you look at that here, which is specified by high. Third attribute is specified by high, second attribute is specified by cold. So the exact value will be specified in the hypothesis. That is called strong constraint on the specific value. Exact value will be specified on the particular attribute. Then we will use null, so the which is not at all caring about any value. That is the regardless of the value of attribute. It is not at all considering any value, not accepting any value. So that is the null. Okay, not a theta, null. So null symbol will be used, that is empty. Okay, so this is also one of the constraints. So totally hypothesis constraints are three types available: question symbol, specific value, and null value. Thanks for watching.